Okay, so today's class is how to buy your next tech product in correlation with Cyber Monday. So yes, at the ending of the class, I will be going over exactly some Cyber Monday deals. But before we even start to see what type of products we should actually buy, it is important to understand how to buy your next product before we make any decisions online, right? So I've got some rules to follow by and some examples. And one of the first things that we do need to consider before buying a product, whether it's a smartphone, a tablet, or a computer, right, is the screen size and the display. So as we all know, most of these smartphones right now on the market are getting larger and larger, right? So if you're someone here today that has an older iPhone, older Android phone, your screen might be a little small. You might find it even difficult to type, right? Because your fingers are just, pretty big enough for the smartphone now. So most of your devices are not working properly to even see the screen. But as you can see now, I am going to go over some smartphones today that are current, that are a bit larger. But most of the older iPhones, the screen display are only 4.5 inches, 5 inches, whereas the newer smartphones can go up to 6.5 to even 8 inches of screen display. So as you can see with your fingers, you'll have much more room to type text messages and so on. And the same thing with tablets and computers, right? There are tablets on the market that are mini size version and larger for depending on exactly what you would need it for. And the good thing about it is that even though it gets larger, somehow the Apple and Samsung have made it that the products keep on getting lighter. So you may think in the past, right, larger means heavier. And yes, that was true at some point. If you did have a very old iPad from 2012, 2011, yes, they are very, very heavy. But that's not true anymore. Most of the newer iPads, the ninth, 10th, 11th generation, are very, very light, just like an iPhone or a Samsung Android phone. So that's one thing to consider. Another thing to consider is storage capacity, right? So depending on how you're going to use your smartphone or your tablet, you're going to need sufficient storage for how you depend on you're going to use it. For games, apps, going on Google and so on, you're going to need the current storage for you specifically. And I am going to go over in the next slides how much storage you should get if you are someone looking for a newer phone, a newer laptop, and so on, because some of the salespeople might, trick you into getting a tablet or a phone with a lot of storage, but really you don't need that if you're just someone who's a casual user with your phone or tablet. So we are going to go over that. And lastly, accessibility features, right? Make sure when you do buy your product that it's able to have voice commands, a screen reader if you're someone that's hard of seeing, hard of hearing. It can magnify, it has Bluetooth functions. But you're all set with that because most of all the phones on the market right now all have, compatibilities to screen share and Bluetooth to headphones and so on. So you don't really have to worry about that. Most of the newest smartphones all have that. Does anybody have any questions online or in the center? Okay.
I was just wondering about using offline storage as opposed to, toting it around with you, or or have both maybe.
Um, are you talking about like cloud storage versus
Yes,
the
right.
internal
Yeah,
storage?
or even something that you would have yourself, like you know, some gadget that could store a lot of information.
Okay, so for everyone here in the center, he's asking a question about the different types of storage you would get either internally or outside storage, like cloud storage. So there are two ways you can do it. You can either buy a smartphone that has tons of storage, which I will go over in the next slides. You can either buy cloud storage like from Apple or from Google. So what that means is all of your storage, whether it's your photos, games, and so on, gets sent to the cloud. So in cases of emergency, your phone breaks, things like that, your phone gets lost, it's okay because it's all saved in the cloud. So you can always retrieve that back. And then another way you can also save storage is also putting it on an external hard drive. Some people buy like 100 gigabytes of external storage that they keep somewhere and they can always plug that into a computer. It's not really accessible friendly for smartphones or plugging it into an iPad or a tablet. But yes, you can buy an external hard drive to save crucial information that you it's more like a security way to use it for. Like, let's say you're a financial person that wants to save important financial documents, then I would kind of recommend an external hard drive because you're the only one that's accessing that type of information. But if you're talking about me personally, I use the regular internal storage on my phone and I also use Google storage. Did that answer your question online?
Yes. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, so someone asked on the center for those who are online, she asked if she pays for cloud storage. Does everything on her phone, like photos and emails, get saved to the cloud in case her phone gets lost or damaged? So within the iCloud storage, you get to choose exactly what files you want to save. So you specifically have to go in the setting in your phone. I can show you later, Carol, then you can see what exactly is saving in the cloud. Because not everything saves in the cloud. You have to tell your phone if you want your emails in the cloud and so on. So let's go over some the gigabytes in smartphones. Sorry, this was the first slide. So let's talk about storage, right? How much storage do you really need? So if you are someone that it's time to finally buy a smartphone, a tablet, computer, laptop, whatever the case may be. They always ask you the number one most important question. How much storage do you need in that device, right? And storage is calculated by a gigabyte or stands for GB. And a gigabyte is the amount of digital information your phone, tablet, or laptop can store. The more gigabytes in your phone or laptop means the more information you can put into that device. So if you have tons of 100 gigabytes, right, you can download as many apps as you want, download as much music, movies, have emails in your phone, and so on. That's what a gigabyte does, right? So many modern smartphones right now start with a lower standard of 32 gigabytes. But lately, 32 gigabytes is becoming a very low standard in a smartphone. And I personally would not recommend having a smartphone with only 32 gigabytes. And the reason why is that's because even though you have a smartphone that has 32 gigabytes or even 64 gigabytes of storage, you never get that same amount when you turn on that phone. Why? Because when you turn on your phone, you see all the apps that is already pre-installed, right? The phone app is pre-installed, the internet, the messages, your mail app. iPhone gives you tons of apps like notes, pages, and so on. Samsung does the same exact thing. So all of that storage, right, that you think you're getting on your phone is already being used by those pre-installed apps. And I think we've all like ran into that issue before that hey, I bought this brand new phone. Why already there's 10 gigabytes already taken up? That phone is the pre-installed apps are using those gigabytes. So me personally, I would recommend for everyone here today to get a phone, a tablet, or so on that has at least 64 gigabytes. Because already, if you only have 32 gigabytes, essentially that's like 10 apps on your phone. Your emails itself take about 3 gigabytes. So that's already 32 minus 3. You get a new update on your phone, that's another 2 gigabytes. Next year is another update, another 2 gigabytes. That 32 gigabytes is already gone by the year and a half, right? With everything that you want to do on your phone, even for the casual user here today, like you and me. So I would recommend 64 gigabytes. And I wrote this kind of list of different people that would use these specific type of gigabytes. So if you are someone that's looking for a new smartphone or a tablet, 64 gigabytes is the standard, I would say. If you're someone that's calling, texting, and going on the internet, sometimes using some apps, that's a casual user would I would recommend 64 gigabytes, right? Now, 128 gigabytes would be for someone who takes a lot of photos and videos, people who like to store a lot of amount of music, movies, maybe you want to download television shows, maybe you have masses amount of emails, thousands and thousands, and additionally you're doing a bunch of this, right? Taking photos and videos of your grandchildren and so on. I would recommend 128 gigabytes. And lastly, 246 gigabytes is for people who are like professional photographers, videographers, those who rely on their smartphone for work purposes, video editing, graphic design, um, I don't think anyone here today would use any of that, but if you are someone here that's like a creative person that likes to do videography and things like that, then I definitely would recommend 264 gigabytes. Any questions online, and then I will get to the center. Any questions online from this? I do. Right. So, right. Carol said a good, question, and for everyone that didn't hear online. She said that if there's someone who plans on getting a smartphone, but they want to use it for many years, like 5 years or even so on, right? The best option would probably be to get the 128 gigabyte because by the time she uses it for 5 years, most of that storage is going to be taken up by her massive amount of emails, different apps she wants to download, and so on, right? All the photos and videos that accumulate over those 5 years. So yes, in the long run, it probably would be better if you to get 128 if you want to use your phone for 3 to 4 to 5 years. Yes.
I have a question. If you keep your phone for a long period of time, and if you update it, you're using up more and more of the gigabytes with just the apps. Is that the case?
Yes, because software updates take up storage as well. Yes.
But do the old apps leave, or are they still on?
No, they're still on the phone, unless you delete them.
Oh, that's my.
Yes.
Oh, I was gonna say, is it a good idea if you know you're not using, there's 30 of them on your phone now, and I know I.
Yes, it is if you're someone here today that has a bunch of apps and you're not using it, yes, you should be deleting them. I always say that to everyone to delete apps you do not use. And another thing that Carol mentioned was that can you buy more storage after you purchase the phone? No, you cannot buy more storage. This is the internal storage that comes with your phone. So if you buy a brand new smartphone with only 64 gigabytes, that's it. You can't upgrade that 64 gigabytes. Okay.
Said you can. But Google has storage.
But that's a cloud storage. I'm talking about the internal storage that comes on your phone, right? So cloud and internal storage are two different things. Okay, any questions online from those online? Okay, so now let's talk about laptops and computers, right? Anyone here today interested in getting a laptop or a computer? Maybe, maybe. Okay. So with a laptop and a computer, right, they have two types of storage because they're a larger equipment, right? So in a laptop and a computer, yes, they also have storage, right? So yes, you do need to figure out how much storage you want to get. 64, 128, 264. But they also have something called RAM. So even if you're here that doesn't want to buy a laptop or computer, it's always good to know this type of information in the future or anything. So RAM stands for Random Access Memory. And that is an essential component in your laptop to help it run smoothly and quickly. So RAM is basically temporary memory that a computer uses to quickly access and manipulate data. So think of it this way. The more RAM that you have on your computer, the more tasks it could do at one time. So I gave an example. For example, if you want to use Google, search for something on the internet, then you want to quickly jump to a Google document and start writing a recipe or story. And then you also want to play music in the background to soothe you. If you want to do all of that at the same time, you need to have more RAM in your computer. So all of the different tasks that happen at the same time. So like someone, who was talking to me a few weeks ago, they were asking me, is it possible to play music on my computer and also, write a story or something, right? So that's all possible with RAM, doing things at the same time. Sometimes, people do video editing on their computer and they're playing music in the background and they're quickly jumping to finish their essay for their professor. All of those tasks are happening at the same time. Your computer has to quickly jump back and forth and do that. But if your computer doesn't have enough RAM, it's going to slow down the computer. It's not going to be able to jump back and forth quickly to do this, that, and that. So I also gave like a little bit of what I would recommend, right? So basic usage. So if you're just someone that's going to use a computer and laptop to do email and go on the internet and maybe some Google documents, 4 to 8 gigabytes of RAM is fine. 4 to 8 gigabytes. However, if you're someone that's going to be using it, like I said, playing music, photo editing, video editing, doing Google Documents too at the same time, you want to do either 8 to 16 gigabytes of RAM. And once again, this is only for laptops and computers. They will not ask you this for smartphones and tablets. Any questions from online about this slide?
For the tab, just a general question about the tablets. For the tablets, is it, since you really just going to be, I would be using it to take information off the computer, maybe, and you don't want to carry a laptop with you.
Okay, you're talking about a tablet?
Yeah.
A
What's the
tablet?
example memory for a tablet?
Well, tablet, they wouldn't have RAM. Tablet is only storage. So RAM is only for laptops and computers. So for a tablet, right, it would be the same thing, either 64 gigabytes, 128, or 264. Those are the different amounts that I went over in these slides previously, right? That I went over, these different gigabytes. This is for smartphones and tablets. RAM is only for laptops and computers. So if you're not, thinking of buying that, you don't have to worry about these numbers. Okay. So now that we went over some of the basic things to know, now I'm going to go over some equipment that is popular right now in the market that are having good Cyber Monday, Black Friday deals. Whether you are interested in buying it or maybe, present for Christmas and so on. Right. So number one, right, are the headphones, Bluetooth headphones, which are basically wireless headphones. They do not connect into anything. They just use Bluetooth to play music from your ear to the phone and so on. And these are like the three top headphones on the market that can be used for both an iPhone and for a Samsung. On the left, right, we have the AirPods made by Apple, and that's how they look. You stick them into your ear, and they connect right on your phone. They have a case right here. So when you pop open that case, your phone detects that the case has been opened, and it says, "Do you want to connect it to your phone?" It's very simple. There's no buttons to push. It's a screen on your phone that opens up and it shows it right when you open up the case. And these come in all different prices. They all have all different models. And currently, Amazon and Walmart are all doing $50 to $100 off on these AirPods. Each of the different AirPod models do different things. Some have noise cancellation. If someone that you know in your family goes to the gym, they're sweat resistant, so they won't fall out of your ears and things like that they do for you. And then the other brand are the Beats models. Yes, I will go. I will. Yes, I will get to you. The other two models are the Beats models that go over your head like this, and then the same around your ear. They also can be connected to an Apple or to a Samsung Android phone. And once again, they are wireless. This is wireless. This does not connect to your phone. It's just like a hanging. If you're someone like that feels like it's gonna come out of your ear, you can like put it around like that, like a string, but it still doesn't connect into your phone.
I know this says Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Headphones that go direct into.
So there are headphones that go direct into your phones. The thing is that once the iPhone created their newer phones that don't have holes in them, they stopped selling it with iPhones. So every time you bought a new iPhone, you would get a headphones with your iPhone. But then they changed the bottom of an iPhone and even the bottom of the newer Samsung phones where there's no hole, right? This is just the plug to put the power in. So instead you have to buy like a specific headphone that plugs into this port. And it's just not the same quality as what these would give you, right? These are stereo sound systems that are like great for the ear quality. They connect with when you make a phone call or something, you can walk and talk with them, like Whereas the others you can't do that. But yes, they still sell the other ones probably for like $15-$20 if you go into Apple. But these are just like the newer versions that everyone else is pretty into and using. But yes, you can still get those other ones. You have a question?
So now with the iPods,
AirPods, yes.
AirPods,
Yes.
how would it, when you open the case, you said, it comes up, it signals your iPhone.
Yes.
What would it look like?
When you open up the case on the AirPod, right on your phone screen, it would say like Apple AirPods and then connect. And when you hit connect, you can name them anything. So every time you open up the case, it'll say like Carol's AirPods, Tabitha's AirPods, and then you can connect them like that. Or when you put it in your ear, it has a little like ding that you know it's like connected.
How would you know? Because you said the market for the pods is extensive. You could buy basic ones and
Right.
it goes up.
Yes.
What would you suggest, for example, for just casual usage?
Right. Okay. So for those online that didn't hear what Carol said, she's interested in the Apple AirPods and she's asking what would I suggest for someone who's just a casual user, I guess for music or just wants to try them out. Like because I said Apple AirPods have different generations There's an Apple AirPod second generation, third generation. There's an Apple AirPods Pro, which is another model of that. So it really kind of depends on exactly what are you going to be using it for. If you're a runner, going to the gym, like to go on hikes, you want to use it when you're going out for walks. What are you going to use your Apple AirPods for? Because the newer versions, like the third generation or the Apple AirPods Pros, are sweat resistant and noise cancellation. So when you put them in your ear, you won't hear anything else of the surroundings. You just hear your music or your phone call and so on. Or if you're running with them, they won't fall out of your ear. The older versions, the first and the second generation, they do not have those features and they are cheaper, about $79.99 right now for the Black Friday sale. Yes, Carol.
So I've never used those, but I do go to a club to work out, yada yada. So instead of going for the basic, like you just said, $79.99, what would I buy so that I don't have to buy again? For something
Right.
middle ground.
I mean, I would say like the middle ground, like I'll show you more of the models later, but I would say then the third generation of the regular Apple AirPods that look like that. The Pro ones are different. They're more for noise cancellation. So if you're not really going to be using that feature and you want to still hear your surroundings, I wouldn't recommend then that one. So I would say the regular Apple AirPods third generation because that's the latest and the newest. But if you're looking for a deal, you could get the second and the first that are probably $50 now. Any questions online from this slide?
Let me ask you something.
Yes, Carmen.
The second one, the headphone. You said you don't need a phone?
You don't need a phone?
Right. How
What
do
do you mean
listen to-
plugs?
Right.
These are all Bluetooth. So as
Okay,
long as you
alright.
have your Bluetooth on, it will connect to your phone anywhere, outside, indoors, doesn't need Wi-Fi. Just Bluetooth. Bluetooth is connection from your device to another device. Doesn't use internet connection. Okay.
I have a question. How do they recharge? And like, how long does the battery
Oh, that's a good question. Yes.
take a charge?
And the online asks, how do they charge, right? So under the case, if we look at the first one, the Apple AirPods, right under it, it has the same exact plug-in, just like an iPhone. You would use your iPhone charger to plug in the Apple AirPods. So you would charge the case. And every time you put your headphones into the case, it charges it. So you want to make sure the case is charged, and as soon as you put your little ears and ear pods in there, they charge within the case if it's at 100% the case. So yes, you do have to charge that case. Same thing with like the second one there as well. They have a little plug-in on the sides where the earmuff is, then you can plug in with a charger. And then the third one also comes in a case. I just don't have the picture of that, but it's also a case that you would charge for the third one as well. And yes, that's a good question, Andy. Depending on the model that you buy, the newer models are gonna have more battery life than the older models. So the newer models can range from 6 to 12 hours of battery life, whereas the older ones are like 4 hours of battery life.
So I have are they called earpods or AirPods or both?
They can be called both because Apple is Apple AirPods, but if you don't want to buy Apple, then it will be earbuds. Yeah. Yes.
Question. As long as you have Bluetooth,
Mm-hmm.
assuming that your phone can hook up with Bluetooth, we can use it for any version of, say, an Apple product.
Yes.
Whether it's an 8, a 9, a 10.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Any Apple phone that you have, they can connect to as long as you have Bluetooth. So the next thing are smart TVs, and I'm just showing one brand of smart TVs because there's just so many brands of smart TVs now. I don't know if you ever been recently to a store with TVs like Best Buy, or we went to B&H and we saw there's so many different TVs, LEDs, OLEDs. I would have to do a whole class on just the different types of smart TVs and the models and what they do, right? But this one specifically, the Roku TV, I listed it today because I think it is one of the best TVs for someone who is trying to get to know how to use a smart TV. It is the most user-friendly interface. And right here is how it would look, right? So everything is laid out right in front of you. The different apps in large screen displays, an app that will take you back to the cable box to bring you back to live TV and so on. They're all laid out right in front of you. And yes, Roku is on the cheaper side of a smart TV because of its user-friendly interface. Whereas when you start getting to Samsung and Sony, right, they can get very complicated in how to use the smart TV because their interface that they use is very different. The model's not the same. This is one of the only TVs where the apps are this large and easy to navigate. The remote as well has the different apps that you could click on if you want to go to Netflix or whatever app. So this is why I recommend it here today, but it doesn't mean it is the best smart TV. It's the best smart TV that's user friendly to get to know to how to actually use the smart TV. But it doesn't mean it's the best one on the model, right? But there's so many other different brands that go for thousands of dollars. Here, they're having a Black Friday deal on Best Buy and Amazon that this specific TV, 40 inches for $180. And then it'll go up depending on how many inches of TV, 50 inches, 60 inches. However, there are Samsung TVs that are pretty good as well, but they're like 800, 900,000. And, I would have to do a whole class on just going over those TVs. Okay, someone said something in the chat.
Definitely the prices have dropped.
Luciana, she said we have an old Samsung
Yes,
from 18 and it was $2,000.
about yes. And I find hard to. I used to manage it when we first got it, but now I don't know. I find it hard to, get to YouTube. There is too many. It's difficult, but it's an old one. My daughter bought it at the very beginning, and it's a big one, so we're not going to change it.
Yeah, the thing about now with smart TVs is that, like for me, I could use my scenario. I have a smart TV from 2013, 2012 that was like $4,000. And like it doesn't really function properly because can you imagine from 2013, that was the first ever time smart TVs were coming out. Now there's so many different things that you can do with smart TV. They have Bluetooth, screen mirroring. The one in my bedroom, which is a Samsung, no, it's not a Samsung, it's an LG TV. Anything that I put on my phone, I can share it to the TV automatically. I can share my apps, my messages, even FaceTime straight to the TV. Whereas my old TV that was cost $4,000 cannot even do that because it's from 2013. Whereas my LG TV that's like a 45-inch, 46-inch, which was only like what $400, $500, can do so much more than that 4,000 TV from years ago. Yeah.
Ask a question only because this isn't used anymore. What was meant by plasma TV?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't know that. Does anybody would know that plasma TV? I think that's a type of screen though. Yeah, like
It's a certain element of the screens with
Yeah.
no, it wasn't touchscreen.
yeah.
No, there hasn't. That's probably gonna come out soon, but there's no.
Yeah. Okay. So, or they were.
Yes.
I have an old Samsung and I'm having, I think it could do a lot more than I asked it to do, but I'm not sure how to do it.
Right.
And
That's why,
I'm
yeah,
afraid that the TV is not going to respond if
Right.
I do something, if I touch something incorrectly, then I might, globally do something.
right. I would say like LG TVs are very complicated. Like even for me, I had to figure out how to use the apps, download the apps, and do exactly what I want to do with the TV. So that's why I just went over Roku. If you're starting fresh with smart TVs and you want to like just get, step foot into it, and then in the future get a nicer one, I would say Roku. Because they're like one of the cheapest models of smart TVs. So the next thing, right, I'm gonna go over is Bluetooth speakers. And maybe we've all heard of the Amazon Alexa, right?
Yes.
What is an Amazon Alexa? If you're someone here today has an Apple, then you know who Siri is. You talk into your phone and it gives you commands. Siri, do a timer for 10 minutes. Siri, make a calendar appointment today for so and so. Siri, do this. Siri, call mom, so on. You could do the same thing with Alexa, but Alexa has more features where it could actually function as a speaker and play music for you in the house. But you could also say, Alexa, do a timer. My chicken is cooking in the oven and so on. You can do that with the speaker here. And Alexa has grown to now connect with a lot of other features in your home. If you were here for my like smart TV kind of class where I said there's a lot of smart homes that some of their refrigerators are touchscreen and their microwaves are touchscreen. So people use like their Amazon Alexa to connect to their refrigerator, to connect to their microwave, to their oven, to turn on the lights in their house. That's just what this little ball can do, right? But if you're not someone that has all those different devices in your house, it would just be used as a speaker to play music and to do different tasks like a timer, to tell you a joke, the current news. It could do things like that for you. And this is the latest model. I'm showing you the Amazon Echo Dot. And they're doing a really good deal, only $23 on Amazon. They usually go for $40. So if you are interested in getting like a little speaker for your house to do some commands, the latest model of the Amazon Echo Dot is really cheap right now for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Any questions?
Yeah,
Yes.
Tabitha, we do have my son put a what do you call it, Alexa, and I could do that, like put the time, the timer and all that. But does it have to be connected? Let's say, I don't know what question I was asking, and they say they couldn't. Let's say I want to say, Alexa, I don't know. Alexa, put the TV on. Does that has to be? This is an example. Does that has to be connected, or how does it work? This Alexa.
So Alexa would have only works with other Amazon devices. So if your TV is not an Amazon TV, no, turn on your
Okay.
TV. It can only turn on like Amazon lights, right? So if you have like special lights to turn on in your house or Amazon refrigerator and so on, it can just like turn on your TV or turn on your phone or things like that. It can't connect to your phone. It could make phone calls for you and play a certain song for you. It could read you your emails. It could do things like that, but not really with the TV. Does that make
You
sense?
mean could read the emails on my phone?
Yes, we could do that. Yes, if it's
Really?
connected to your phone, it could do that.
Wow. Well, thank you.
Yes, we miss you.
Yeah, me too. I was talking to the therapist. He said, you miss
We
the schedule.
miss
Today
you.
I walked with the broken foot for the last time, but with the walker. So he said, thank God I'm well trained from the center, the exercises and everything. So So going home to my son, December 7th.
Oh, that's good news.
Yeah.
Yes, Carol.
So, so I have a tablet
Mhm.
and I have an iPhone.
Right. You have a tablet, you have a phone.
So how do I access Alexa? Because I know a friend of mine, she does that all the time. Alexa, do this. Alexa, do
Okay, so
that.
you have an Alexa at home?
No.
Well, first you have to buy one.
So I would have to buy something.
Yes, you have to buy an Amazon Echo Dot and download the Amazon Alexa app on your phone to do these different functions because it will connect it. Yes, and this is just one version of how it looks. There are newer ones on the market that are like screen versions that are also touch screen, but they're pricier. This is one of the cheap ones.
So this is what you would consider basic.
Yeah, this is the basic, yes. Yes.
I just have, I don't know, so dumb question on, but like my son has Alexa and he would just say like Alexa play a certain
Mhm.
song.
Right.
How does that actually work? Because does that come from his phone?
Okay,
Where
so
do they get the magic from it?
because when you have an Amazon Alexa, you also get like some free music because Amazon is like a corporation that has the music, the groceries, the so on. So it plays some free music. However, if you're someone that has Apple Music or Spotify and you pay for those subscriptions, you can connect it to that service and it will play unlimited music. So maybe he has an Apple Music or Spotify. When you use the basic Amazon Music, it will say after a while, no, you cannot skip. Because sometimes, like if the music is bad, I say, Alexa, skip this song. Alexa, next. And then you can't do that often if you're paying for that free version. So usually I use my Spotify that's paid for.
You can't like program it, like let's say you find certain songs on it instead of what they give you. You can
No, not
program it.
you cannot program it if you're paying for the free version. It just gives you have to give like a genre, like Alexa play pop music. And then if you don't like that song, you could skip it for a little bit, but then it won't give you any more skips until the next 24 hours. Yeah.
How many skips? How many skips?
I don't really know how many skips, but I know you only get a certain amount and then you have to wait. Yes, Carol.
So if I bought this, it would be a step up for me because I'm so technically challenged. Would you walk me through what I have to do to connect it?
Yes.
If I have,
Once you get it, you get the app and then I can show you what to do.
so the app, you just have to download it to connect.
Yeah, because remember it's using Bluetooth, right? So
Yeah,
it's using Bluetooth. So once this is plugged in and you go to the app, it's gonna search for a device in your house that is an Alexa and it will pick it up right away and connect it. But you have to download the app, Amazon Alexa app, or it's not gonna connect it.
So you just do that like you would normally download it.
Right, and you would log into your Amazon account information, right? Your username and your password, sign in, and then it will connect the device. It will search for it in your house, so make sure it's plugged into the wall and turned on, and it will connect it. Any questions online? Okay, so let me just quickly go over that. I printed it out for those in the center, but for everyone online. These are some 4 companies that are participating in Cyber Monday if you are interested in shopping, right? Obviously, Amazon is going to be the #1 place that is selling a bunch of different electronics. They already started it. I feel like in the future, one day, Amazon is going to be taking a lot of stores like everywhere. Like you're not gonna see malls anymore. It's just gonna be an Amazon mall because they have everything on there, and Okay. But with Amazon, the good thing about it is that they have a holiday return policy. So let's say you do decide to buy something from November 1st to December 31st, you do have until January 31st, 2024 to return the product. So if anything you heard today was interesting and you want to buy for your grandchildren or your children or your friend, you have until January 31st to see if they love it or not, and you get your money back. However, if it's an Apple product, if you decide to buy Apple AirPods from Amazon today or tomorrow or so on, you only have until January 15th to return that product. So I said how Apple's doing
Thank you.
some with the AirPods. So you have until
Yeah, I don't like this. It's too sweet. Thank you. And this is what? No. Thank you.
I make a thing on here. I'll take up when I come.
Sorry. Okay. Walmart is doing an amazing sale with Apple products. They're even doing a larger sale with the AirPods than Amazon, of almost $100 off of the Apple AirPods. So one of the Apple AirPods are running from $250, and they're going to be on sale for $169. That is pretty amazing for the latest top of the model one, Apple AirPods Pro. Not the one that I recommended for you, the higher one that has noise cancellation. Almost $100 off they're giving on Walmart. So I put in a reminder so I could buy it tomorrow.
But so that's a very big benefit to not have the outside noise
Yes.
affected by what you're listening to.
Yeah, so well, if you are interested, it's called the Apple AirPods Pro.
Yeah.
Pro at the end. If you're someone that just wants to directly buy from Apple themselves, starting November 24th, if you buy an eligible product on their website, you can get a $200 gift card to use for another Apple product. And Best Buy, starting November 27th, they are doing a big sale with smart TVs, almost $350 off some of their models. So smart TVs, go to Best Buy. Apple, I would recommend either the Apple store if you want a gift card, or Walmart and Amazon. But Amazon is going to have all different types of products, smart TVs too. The Roku TV that I said was going for 200, it was on Amazon. Yes.
I'm gonna ask kind of a side question. With all of this, is it possible to record? Say if you're in a meeting and you want to record what's being said at the meeting, is there a way you can record on any of these products?
Oh, like they will record us.
Well, right now Zoom is recording this segment. I use Zoom to record, but you could also you could do voice recorder with your phone or tablet, not really camera. It would just be taking a video of the whole presentation. But if you just want to record my voice, you could have turned on the voice recorder app and just let it play and it would record my voice.
Voice recorder.
Yes.
Maybe we can go over that later. It's kind of a side question, but
Yes,
But
a good
that's
question.
something.
Yeah.
Yes. You have a question?
No, it's a good question. Because we used to have little recorders.
You taking a picture thing?
yeah, you don't have.
I haven't picked it. You didn't get one?
No.
You didn't get one of these? Okay. What time is it? I will give it to you.
Get it. I got it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Betty, I will give it to you too. So anybody that's here today, I just wanted to quickly show you some few websites. We have 5 minutes left. We have 5 minutes left.
Feel it.
5 minutes left.
Thanks.
So quickly, I just want to go show you this real quick. Amazon right now, right, is having a big sale, Black Friday sale. Forget about Cyber Monday. They already started their sales with electronics. As you can see, Amazon Fire tablets, Apple Watch, desktop and laptops, phones, headphones, services for camera doorbells and things like that. If you have a house, you can put a doorbell, a camera doorbell to see who's ringing the door. They have that on off the sale. The Echo speakers that I was talking about, right?
Yeah.
These are all the different models for them. You would just want to find the one that says Amazon Echo Dot latest release. I told you it's going for $23. It's actually $50. So that's a very good deal. They also have versions that have it in that shows the time right on the screen that's going for $35 instead of $60. You can get bundles that come with a light. So I said Amazon Alexa works with other Amazon products. So if you want a light to say Amazon turn on my lights in my bedroom, you have to buy the Amazon light. So they have bundles.
Oh, wait a minute. This is really, it's like.
I know, it's another whole world.
It's opens up.
And they have kid versions. So if you have a grandchild and you think they would like a little Alexa one and a cute owl, you can buy that for someone, a kid that you may know.
But the Amazon lights, you mean the light bulbs or what?
Yeah, you put them into a lamp and then you could use your Alexa and say, Alexa, turn off my light, or Alexa, turn on my light.
So you
Oh,
put them.
wow.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a light bulb. You put it into your lamp. Instead of buying a lamp from a light bulb from Home Depot or Rite Aid or
Oh, my
CVS,
God.
you just use this one. And
Vamos a hacer la. We're getting lacy and lacy. Wow.
so I would definitely recommend for everyone to go to Amazon this week, see all the different sales of the different products that they have.
oh, the earbuds.
Right. They have a lot of things on here. So I would definitely
Look at those earbuds. What's the?
this one.
Yes, that black one.
Oh, this is JBL. This is another brand. I don't personally know how well this brand is. I've never used it before. As you can see, you're gonna see that there's a lot of other knockoff brands for Apple or Samsung or Beats. Those are the three main ones: Samsung, Samsung Galaxy Earbuds, Apple AirPods, and then there's Beats. And then there's other, like, I would call them knockoff. Sorry, I don't know if that's an appropriate word to use, but I guess they're competitors, right? But I've never used JBL before. Maybe someone else has. You could let me know if it's good or not. So yeah, definitely check out Amazon, see what's happening. And quickly, I just want to show you this iPhone just so you can see something that it's a good lesson what we went over today. As you can see, right, this is what we went over today, the different gigabytes that you have to buy. So as you can see with an iPhone or a Samsung, they tell you right off the bat how much storage do you need. And as you can see, the more storage, the more money it is, right? $579. But hopefully from today's class, you know exactly what storage you want for your next phone and so on. But don't get like conned into getting the most one, like 256 when you're in Verizon store or T-Mobile's. Now you know which, one to get for the type of user you are on your phone. Yes. Any questions online? Yes, I will get with you, Carol. Any questions from online today?